7 days. 7 strangers. One chilling question. What happens when the knock at your door isn't a mistake, but a murder plot? Kanika Powell, a Marine who dodged bullets in Iraq, couldn't escape the killer who stalked her to her own doorstep. 15 years later, we still don't know who knocked, or why. But here's what does keep investigators up at night. The killer didn't just want her dead. They wanted her to know they were coming. Knock, knock, knock. It started like a bad punchline. 3 raps at the door. Polite, even. But when Kanika Powell, a Marine who'd disarmed insurgents in Baghdad, opened it, she wasn't staring down a rifle. Just a man in a delivery uniform. Wrong apartment. He shrugged. Harmless. Except it happened again the next day. And the next. 7 days. 7 strangers. All with excuses. All with lies. Then, silence. But not the calm kind. The kind that makes your skin prickle. Because on August 28th, 2008, that silence broke. And when it did, Kanika, a woman trained to survive war zones, would learn a brutal truth. The battlefield wasn't overseas. It was her doorstep. This isn't a ghost story. It's worse. Because ghosts aren't real. But the man who knocked? He was. And what he did next? Well, let's just say war zones couldn't kill her. But her own front door did. Before the knocks, there was Kanika. Not just a victim. Not just a headline. A force. Picture this. A 26-year-old woman who could field strip an M16 rifle in under 30 seconds. A Marine who'd patrolled the streets of Fallujah, earning respect in a war zone where even veterans struggled to breathe. But back home in Maryland, she danced to Beyoncé in cramped apartment living rooms. Sent her mom 3 a.m. texts just to say, "Love you." Collected stilettos she'd never wear to her day job. Analyzing top-secret security systems at Johns Hopkins. That's the thing about Kanika Powell. She defied easy labels. To her platoon, she was Sarge, the soldier who'd trade her last MRE to comfort a homesick private. To her lab colleagues, she was the woman who could silence a room of PhDs with one razor-sharp question. To her little niece, she was Auntie K, the human jungle gym who'd sneak candy before dinner. But to someone lurking in the shadows of her ordinary life, apartment 112, parking spot 7B, the grocery store she frequented every Tuesday, she was something else entirely. A problem, a threat, or worse, prey. Because Kanika Powell didn't just work in security. She lived it. Double locks on her doors, mace in her purse, a habit of scanning exits in every room she entered. But all that discipline, all that vigilance, couldn't answer the one question that matters. How do you stop a killer who doesn't want to steal from you, just to erase you? August 21st, 2008, 7:13 p.m. Kanika Powell was halfway through a microwave dinner when she heard it. The first knock. 3 sharp raps. Polite, but firm. When she opened the door, a man stood there in a brown delivery uniform, holding a clipboard. "Package for your neighbor," he said. Apartment 114. But Kanika knew better. Apartment 114 had been empty for weeks. She shut the door, locked it, checked the peephole twice. Just another day. Right, wrong. Day 2, August 22nd, 6:48 a.m. Another knock. Earlier this time, a different man. No uniform, just a blue baseball cap and a toolbox. Building inspector. He claimed, said he needed to check her pipes. Kanika refused. Her gut told her something was off. She texted her mom later that day. "Weirdos at my door again. Might get a security cam." Day 3, August 23rd, 8:02 p.m. Knock, knock, knock. This time, a pizza delivery guy. Red shirt, cheesy smile, large pepperoni for, Powell. But Kanika hadn't ordered pizza. She hadn't ordered anything. The man shrugged, said it must have been a prank, and left. But when she looked through the peephole, he wasn't walking to the elevator. He was just standing there, staring at her door. Day 4, August 24th, 12:30 p.m. A construction worker. Neon vest. Hard hat. "Ma'am, we're repaving the parking lot. Need to move your car." Kanika didn't own a car. She'd sold it 6 months earlier. She slammed the door so hard the frame shook. That night, she called her brother. "Someone's screwing with me, but I'm not some scared little girl." Day 5, August 25th, 9:15 p.m. The knocking came louder. Faster. A man in a suit this time, holding a clipboard. "Census survey," he said. Kanika didn't answer. She pressed her back against the door, listening. His shoes didn't squeak on the hallway tiles like normal shoes. They were silent, like he'd planned it that way. Day 6, August 26th, 10 a.m. A handyman. Denim overalls. Got a work order for your AC unit. Kanika shouted through the door. I didn't call anyone. The man left, but when she checked her patio later, the sliding glass door, the one she always kept locked, was slightly open. Just an inch. Day 7, August 27th, 11:55 p.m. The last knock. A different rhythm this time. 2 quick raps, then 3 slow ones. Kanika didn't move, didn't breathe. She waited. 5 minutes. 10. When she finally looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty, but on the floor, a single pizza coupon, addressed to apartment 112. Her apartment. The next morning, the knock stopped. No more delivery men. No more excuses. Just quiet. Kanika thought she'd won. Outsmarted them. But in reality, the game had just changed. Because for 7 days, they weren't trying to get in. They were studying her, learning her schedule, her habits, what time she left for work, which stairwell she used, how long it took her to lock her door. And on August 28th, they didn't knock. They didn't need to. August 28th, 2008, 10:29 a.m. Kanika Powell locked her apartment door for the last time, keys jingling in her hand, lunchbox tucked under her arm. A Thursday morning like any other, except for one detail. She was 60 seconds late. Not that it mattered. Or did it? She took the stairs. Always the stairs. For flights down to the parking lot. But halfway between the 3rd and 2nd floor, she froze. No footsteps. No voices. Just wrongness. The air felt thick. Static. Like the moment before a bomb detonates. Then movement. 2 men. Black hoodies. Faces covered. One above her on the stairwell. One below. Trapped. Kanika didn't panic. Marines don't panic. She assessed. Calculated. 6 steps between her and the exit door. 3 rounds in her licensed .38 revolver. Adrenaline sharpening her senses. The first shot came from above. A miss. Kanika dove sideways, rolling down the stairs like she'd trained in Fallujah. Fired back. 2 shots. The man below stumbled. She lunged for the exit door. Locked. They'd planned this. The second man charged. Kanika swung her lunchbox, canned soda, an apple, a thermos, catching him in the jaw. He grunted. She fired her 3rd round. Point blank. Click. Misfire. A fist smashed into her ribs. Another into her temple. She fell. But Marines don't stay down. She grabbed his ankle. Yanked hard. He crashed onto the concrete. She was on him in seconds, fingers clawing at his hood, knee on his throat. But the second man recovered. The final shot came from behind. Kanika collapsed. Keys still in her hand. The killers ran. No screams. No sirens. Just the hum of a flickering hallway light. When police arrived, they found 3 shell casings. A single bullet lodged in the wall. And Kanika's revolver, empty. Its last round jammed in the chamber. But here's what they didn't find. A struggle? No. Just a Marine's body. Positioned like she died mid-counterattack. Stolen items? Her wallet. Phone. And keys were untouched. A motive? Only silence. The killers didn't want her things. They wanted her gone. Efficient, professional, and personal. Because Kanika Powell didn't just die that day. She was erased. A soldier who survived IEDs and ambushes in Iraq. Executed in a stairwell 20 feet from her front door. Why? Maybe the answer's in the details they overlooked. The exit door lock. Tampered with the night before. The security cameras. Malfunctioning for exactly 12 minutes. The neighbors who heard nothing, or said they heard nothing. But the loudest clue, what didn't happen next? No demands, no bragging, no leaks. Just 2 ghosts in hoodies, dissolving into the streets of Temple Hills. Maryland. And Kanika? She fought until her last breath. Not for medals or glory, for the same reason she joined the Marines, to protect. Even if it meant protecting strangers from the truth she took to her grave. Let's get one thing straight. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was a masterpiece. A perfectly orchestrated murder with no brushstrokes left behind. No suspects. No arrests. Just fragments of a puzzle that scream one thing. Kanika Powell was chosen. Why? The classified angle top secret clearance. That's the phrase that haunts this case. Kanika worked at Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab, designing security systems for military satellites. The kind of job where you don't post your LinkedIn. The kind of job where wrong apartment isn't a mistake, it's a threat. But here's the twist. The lab swore her work wasn't controversial. No enemies, no leaks, just a routine background check. But 2 weeks before the knocks began, Kanika filed a report, a minor discrepancy in access logs. Could someone have erased a visit? A name? We'll never know, because that report, it vanished from the system. The personal vendetta Kanika's life was an open book. No exes, no feuds, no shady debts. But here's what doesn't add up. The killers didn't just murder her. They humiliated her, lured her into a stairwell, the one place her marine instincts would tell her to avoid, used her discipline against her. Was it someone who knew her? A colleague? A neighbor? Detectives grilled everyone, even the pizza delivery guy from day 3. His alibi? Solid. But here's the kicker. The real delivery chain had no record of that order. The uniform was fake. The pizza box? Empty. Something darker cold cases whisper secrets. And Temple Hills, Maryland, had its share. In 2008, 3 other women were shot in similar ambush killings. All unsolved. All with eerie parallels, no robbery. No sexual assault. Execution-style headshots. But Kanika's case was different. The others were random. Kanika was stalked, studied, hunted. So was she the first victim of a serial killer? Or the last? The evidence, or lack thereof. Let's break down the facts. The knocks, 7 days. 7 different disguises. Each interaction lasted under 30 seconds. The exact time it takes to memorize someone's face. Habits and fear reflexes. The ambush, 2 killers. 1 gun. No DNA. The bullets. Cheap .38 specials sold at every pawn shop in America. Untraceable. The stairwell, no cameras. No witnesses. Just a single security flaw the killers exploited like they'd rehearsed it. But the most haunting detail? The lack of forced entry. Kanika's apartment was Fort Knox. Double locks. A steel rod in the sliding door. Yet the killers didn't need to break in. They needed her to come out, to feel safe enough to step into their trap. The million-dollar question: who benefits? A foreign agency silencing a security threat? A jealous rival eliminating competition? A psychopath testing his power? The answer's buried in Kanika's final text, sent the night before she died. Mom, I figured out what's going on. Tell you tomorrow. She never did. And tomorrow never came. Kanika Powell's murder wasn't messy. It wasn't sloppy. It was perfect. Too perfect. And that's the problem. Because when a crime has no fingerprints, no mistakes, and no answers, you're left with theories. Let's break down the 3 biggest ones, and why none of them fully add up. Theory 1. The classified angle Kanika Powell worked at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab sounds boring, right? Wrong. Her job was designing security systems for military satellites. The kind of tech that keeps spies out and secrets in. Top secret clearance. Government contracts. The works. Now, here's where it gets weird. 2 months before the knock started, Kanika reported a security anomaly at work. Nothing major, she said, just a glitch in the system. But when detectives tried to pull those records after her death, gone, deleted. Coincidence? Maybe, but let's play this out. Say Kanika saw something she shouldn't have. A foreign agent, a hacked server. Maybe she threatened to expose it. What happens next? You send professionals, ghosts who can make problems disappear. No robbery, no DNA, just a Marine who tripped and fell onto 2 bullets. But here's the hole in this theory. If this was a spy job, why the 7 days of knocks? Why not just make her vanish? Spies don't play games, unless the games are the message. A warning to others. Talk, and we'll knock first. But without that deleted report, we're just guessing. Theory 2. The personal grudge. Detectives dug deep into Kanika's life. And guess what? She was normal, boring, even. No ex-husbands, no bitter breakups. Her coworkers loved her. Her neighbors waved hello. Even her ex-boyfriend told police. She was the best person I knew. So where's the grudge? Let's rewind. A week before the knocks began, Kanika's mom says she seemed off. Jumpy, paranoid. When asked why, Kanika brushed it off. Work stress. But what if it wasn't work? What if someone close to her was hiding a secret? A jealous colleague, a neighbor obsessed with her, maybe even a stranger she'd rejected. But here's the thing, Kanika's killers weren't amateurs. They knew her schedule. They knew she'd take the stairs. They knew she'd fight back. That's not a crime of passion. That's a hit, unless the grudge wasn't hers. What if Kanika was a pawn? A way to hurt someone else? Her brother was a DC cop. Her uncle worked in the State Department. Did someone send a message by killing the family rock? Maybe. But after 15 years? No threats. No confessions. Just silence. Theory 3. The serial killer in 2008. Washington, D.C. was a hunting ground. 4 women, all shot execution style. All unsolved. But Kanika's case stands out. The others? Random. Wrong place. Wrong time. But Kanika? She was stalked. Studied. Toyed with. So was she the killer's first, or his masterpiece? Let's connect dots that might not exist. The other victims, Tanya Williams, 24, shot in a parking garage. Purse untouched. Maria Gonzalez, 31, killed outside her laundromat. No witnesses. Lisa Carter, 29, ambushed in her apartment stairwell. Notice the pattern? No robbery. No sexual motive. Just death. But Kanika's murder was different. The stalking. The knocks. The precision. It's like the killer leveled up. Got cocky. Wanted a challenge. Or maybe Kanika wasn't part of the pattern at all. Maybe her killers borrowed the MO to hide their real motive. But here's the kicker. All 4 cases went cold. No DNA matches. No ballistics links. Just a string of bullets and question marks. The problem with all 3 theories, let's be real. None of these theories stick. Classified angle. Spies don't leave pizza coupons. Personal grudge. No one hides hate this well for 15 years. Serial killer. Why break the pattern with Kanika? So what's left? The truth is, we're asking the wrong question. It's not who killed Kanika Powell. It's who wanted her death to look unsolvable. Think about it. The knocks. A distraction. The lack of evidence. A flex. The timing. Flawless. This wasn't a murder. It was a magic trick. And we're still staring at the empty hat. But here's the thing about magic tricks. They rely on lies. And lies, eventually, rot. Maybe the key is in Kanika's last text. Mom, I figured out what's going on. Tell you tomorrow. She knew something. Something small. Something someone thought was worth killing over. A name? A face? A number? We'll never know. Because tomorrow never came for Kanika. But it's not too late for us. If you know anything, a rumor, a confession, a detail that doesn't matter, today's the day to speak up. Before the knock comes for someone else. Most murder victims become statistics. Headlines. Hashtags. But Kanika Powell? She became a crusade. A mother's crusade. For 15 years, Margie Powell has done what detectives couldn't. Keep her daughter's case alive. Keep the knocks from fading into silence. And keep asking one unbearable question. Who killed my child? Margie's war. Margie Powell's life split in 2 on August 28, 2008, before, a retired nurse. A grandmother. A woman who loved crossword puzzles and hummingbird feeders. After, a soldier. She sleeps with a notebook by her bed. Scribbles tips that come in at 3 a.m. Anonymous caller said they saw a blue car. Neighbor heard arguing that morning. Most are dead ends. She chases them anyway. Her weapons? A binder stuffed with police reports. A map of Temple Hills dotted with red pins. And her voice, hoarse from begging on local news. Someone knows something. Please. She was my baby. But here's what they don't tell you about unsolved murders. The victim isn't the only one who dies. They took Kanika. Margie says. But they're killing me too. Just slower. The sound that won't leave. Margie hates doors now. The way they creak. The way they slam. But most of all, the knocking. Every time someone knocks. She says, I freeze. Is it a neighbor? A detective? Or them? Them. The word hangs in the air. The killers. The ghosts. The ones who still hold the answers Margie spent 15 years clawing for. She remembers the first time she visited Kanika's apartment after the murder. Stood in that stairwell. Touched the bullet holes in the wall. I screamed so loud the cops thought I'd been shot too. She says, but what's left to scream about? They're gone. And I'm just here. The family left behind. Kanika's niece, Zoe, was 6 when her aunt died. Now, she's 21, a college junior studying forensic science. I want to finish what Andy Kay started. She says, someone has to. Zoe's childhood was haunted by rules. Never answer the door without looking. Always check your back seat. Trust no one. Grandma thinks the killers are watching us. Zoe admits, maybe she's right. Why else would they stay quiet? But silence isn't the worst part. It's the doubt, the whispers. Maybe Kanika was into something shady. Why can't her mom just move on? Margie's response? Move on. She was my child. You don't move on. You move forward, even if it's on your knees. The community that forgot in 2008. Temple Hills buzzed with candlelight vigils. Justice for Kanika posters plastered every street. Now, the posters are faded. The candles melted. But Margie still walks those streets. Hands out flyers to teenagers who weren't born when Kanika died. Knocks on doors of neighbors who've forgotten. Last year, she confronted a man who moved into Kanika's old apartment. Do you hear her? She asked him. Do you hear the knocks? He called the police. Detectives stopped returning her calls in 2015. The case file? Buried under newer tragedies. But Margie won't quit. She can't. They think I'm crazy, she says. But crazy's what happens when the world stops caring. The knocks that keep coming in 2019. Margie's phone rang. Blocked number. A man's voice. Stop digging. Click. Was it a prank? A threat? She'll never know. But it reignited her fire. She sold her house. Moved into a cramped apartment closer to the police station. I'll be here, she tells them, until you arrest the bastards who did this. Meanwhile, the killers, they're out there. Maybe older. Maybe dead. Or maybe teaching their secrets to someone else. Because here's the truth about unsolved murders. They don't end. They echo. Kanika's case isn't just a warning about answering your door. It's a warning about how easy it is to vanish, to be erased, unless someone refuses to let go. The last plea. Margie Powell is 73 now. Her hands shake, her knees ache, but every morning, she lugs her binder to the library, scans microfiche for clues, calls cold case podcasts. I'm running out of time, she says. But Kanika's not. She's frozen at 26, waiting. So here's the ask, not for Margie, but for Kanika. If you know anything, a name overheard at a bar, a cousin who vanished in 2008, a confession whispered at a funeral, say something. It's not too late to end this. But tomorrow, the knocks might start again. And this time, they could be at your door. Kanika Powell's case isn't gathering dust in some filing cabinet. It's alive, breathing, hunting. Because here's the truth about doors. They don't just open and close. They wait. Think about it. Every time you answer a stranger's knock, you're making a choice Kanika didn't survive. Every time you shrug off a wrong apartment, you're trusting luck she didn't have. And every day this case goes unsolved, the door to justice creaks shut a little more. But it's not closed yet. Margie Powell still waits by the phone. Detectives still chase shadows. And Kanika? She's more than a victim. She's a mirror, a reflection of how easily safety becomes an illusion. How the most dangerous threats don't wear uniforms or wave flags. They wear smiles, delivery uniforms, construction hats. They knock. So let's be clear, this isn't about closure. Margie will never get that. This is about fear. The kind that festers when killers go unpunished. The kind that makes you double-check your locks tonight. But fear can do two things, paralyze you or push you. If you know anything, a name, a rumor, a face from 2008 that still doesn't sit right, now is the time. Before Margie's too old to fight. Before witnesses forget. Before the killers die smug in their silence. Kanika's door may be closed forever. But yours? It's still open. And so is theirs.